Hello guys, and I'm sure that now when I will share this news from inside Russia with you, many of you good people may think that I'm making the things up because it is too funny. It's so funny that it is literally pathetic. In times when Putin threatens the world with their missiles, with Burevestnik, with Oreshnik, with nuclear tests, Russia's largest cosmodrome, spaceport Vostochny, in the far east of Russia, has been cut off energy because of that. Russia's largest cosmodrome, yes, you heard it right, was cut off power because of debt, 51 million rubles. And Putin wants you to be afraid of him in the moment when the Russian Federation is collapsing. Trust me, I'm Ukrainian, and as a Ukrainian, I'm very grateful and very proud that today our city Kherson, that was liberated from the Russian occupation, but right now is daily targeted by their drones, by cabs, by everything they can, was visited by a very brave woman and a superstar, Angelina Jolie. She came without any announcement, and I always love watching these photos and videos of super excited Ukrainian children that are constantly hiding in bomb shelters of their hospitals in Kherson. But such visits, they give hope and they give strength. So let's discuss how Russia is destroying itself from within, and lots of good people demonstrate their solidarity with Ukraine, making us stronger and Russia's defeat closer. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see Putin in The Hague, and I'm sure we will have a good live stream from The Hague, subscribe and share these videos to spread the truth. So let's begin with this literally pathetic update from inside Russia shared by their local media too, which demonstrates this degradation, this loss of control inside Russia. So their cosmodrome, spaceport Vostochny, located in the far east of Russia, actually in Amur region, was cut off power because of that. Well, when Putin invests billions in the destruction of Ukraine, he literally destroyed first their budget, and now they don't have money to fund this important, even for the Russian blackmail sites. So according to the Russian state media, that spaceport has debt of 51 million rubles. I know, ruble is almost worth nothing, but for you to imagine this picture in general, approximately 1 month of the operation of this location cost 4 million rubles. So if their debt is 51 million rubles, it means how many months they did not manage to pay. And the regional government, the federal government cannot do anything. And by the way, the serious problems inside the Russian economy and how it already influences the war machine is demonstrated in the payments to the Russian soldiers. There are fewer and fewer who want to join these war criminal gangs that they name the Russian army, not because they became good, kind people or realized their mistakes and sins. Actually, these are not just mistakes, but sins. No, because the Kremlin does not have enough money, and these regional governments, they are poor. Many of them give everything to the Kremlin and have nothing back. The life in Russia is very different from the life in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Never equate the largest country in the world just with these two capitals. And people don't get even this promised money. So in this context, the information about the largest cosmodrome, spaceport, cut off power is just like the strongest signal. Putin is the weakest ever. Now is the time to send him to The Hague. Subscribe to witness that together, because justice is very important, and honestly I'm very proud when I see the support of people who care about this truth, justice, Ukrainian children, Ukraine as a country, our independence, the strength and resilience that we demonstrate. And today we were all surprised to learn that Angelina Jolie visited Kherson. Kherson is located very close to Russia. This is the only regional center that Russians managed to capture at the beginning of the full-scale war. And they took it under control for a lot of months. And I have a lot of friends who live in Kherson, and life under occupation was awful, was dangerous. They were afraid to go out in the streets, though they continued protests, even though it was dangerous for life, not just for your well-being. And then Kherson was liberated. That is one of the most important moments of the modern Ukrainian history. And I'm sure many of you who follow the updates of this war saw photos of Ukrainian people, Ukrainian flags all around. And I remember this quote of someone in Kherson that it's extremely important to see Ukrainian flags because they are not just flags, they are not just about independence or control, but they are about safety, they are about survival, they are about care, they are about love, respect, dignity, freedom, and I can continue forever. And not able to keep the city, Russians continue terrorizing it. That demonstrates their attitude and their plan. They don't need new lands, they don't need buildings, streets and cities. They simply want to destroy Ukraine and Ukrainians. And you've all heard about this awful human safaris that they organize in Kherson, when they literally hunt people with drones, civilians, sitting on the safer side of the Russian Federation and targeting them for fun. These are videos that many social media platforms ban. And by the way, it's another very important aspect that we under-discuss, because I do understand and respect the policies and the fact that some of these, like all of these videos and photos, are very disturbing. But it's also very wrong to hide the truth, to pretend it's not happening. And just imagine for a second how people who witnessed that, who filmed that, who are the victims of Russia's drone hunts, for example, feel when the truth about their experience is blurred. Let me know your opinion in the comments below, because this is a kind of thing that I understand, like both sides, that social media platforms want to protect people, but it's also important to know the truth if it's happening and put yourself in the shoes of those who've experienced that. And that's why many of the classes, schools, hospitals are working underground. And it's painful because like the city had approximately 300,000 inhabitants, and now I think it's 10 times less because of this constant attacks. And I remember one photo that made me feel very bad. That was of a woman, an elderly woman who did not relocate from the region because of the goats that she kept. And it was not at Kherson, but it was close to the region too. Again, in the result of this Russian drone safari, she lost her life and her goats too, next to her. And these images, they simply demonstrate what Russia is. And no, it's not Putin. These were Russian soldiers who did that for fun. It was not an order from the Kremlin, it was not an order of their commander. And in such danger, in such context, Angelina Jolie came down with a mission, I guess, from the United Nations, and she met with the Ukrainian children, she spoke with them, she hugged. And I kind of like it that it was not announced. There were no political figures with her, no like ambassadors. It was just her visit, security, and perhaps people from a mission. And I just imagine the happiness of those people who met her. You may like her work, you may not. I mean, like as an actress, as a director. But this is a demonstration of a strong will, of support and bravery. And it means a lot to those people who stayed there, who preserve Ukraine there. And thank you so much to all of you who choose to support us. Even if you are not visiting Ukraine and you remember, I advise you not to, because it's really dangerous and literally everywhere. But the thing that you chose to care, to watch these videos, to read the news, to support Ukrainian fundraisers. It means the world to us. And I'm sure the world will be a way better with Russia defeated and Ukraine rebuilding its country and inviting lots of you to experience our beauty, our tasty food, and our beautiful nature and people. Thank you so much once again. Follow me on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord, and do subscribe to Anna Danilchuk channel. We have some record-breaking videos. People view them even more than these ones, and I'm very proud of that growing community. Thank you for buying me coffees. I transform them in teas with honey. Thank you so much for becoming sponsors and patrons of both channels. That is a privilege, and I'm always grateful for the ability to work more. And check our merch shop for lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. And thank you so much for being friends of mine and friend of Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!